morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Wyatt Long, filling in for Raylan Lakatos. Nashville mourns losses after a tragic shooting, and TikTok users are watching the actions of Congress.
And Evangel University is ramping up its upcoming events as we near the end of the semester.
Cameron Lee is here with your forecast, and Emmeline Perkis has your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Right now we have our first look at the weather.
And it's been so warm this past week that I can't help but hope that spring weather is here to stay.
Me too. So Cameron, how is it looking out there?
Thanks, Summer. Well, we can see those current temperatures outside right now, partially cloudy, 48 degrees, and this is actually going to be the coldest that we're going to feel today because as we move into later, it's only going to warm up with those highs around 66, and we're expecting a little bit of light showers throughout the day as well. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. Can't wait to hear more in just a little while during your full forecast.
I am looking forward to warm weather.
Definitely.
Nashville police are still trying to figure out the motivations of a former student who entered a Christian elementary school and opened fire, killing 3 children, all of who were 9 years old, and 3 adults. The call to police occurred at 10:13 a.m., and the shooter was dead 14 minutes later. Police have released surveillance video showing the 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who they say is a transgender, arriving on campus and opening fire on the entrance of the school. Hale had 3 different types of weapons, with 2 of them likely obtained legally and from different gun stores. The parents of Hale state their daughter had been undergoing treatment for a possible mental illness. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are looking into a possible TikTok ban. The social media app has more than 150 million monthly active U.S. users, including small business owners and influencers who rely on the app for a major portion of their profits. But where will all of those users go next if the app disappears? Influencers who use TikTok as a primary way of generating revenue are already speculating about where they'll go next. Meta's Facebook and Instagram allow users to create 15-second videos called clips, and YouTube has a feature called Shorts. Snapchat Spotlight highlights entertaining videos. Whether TikTok will be banned is still unknown, but users are now considering their alternatives.
Evangel hosted an Adulting 101 event earlier this week. A member from the U.S. City Utilities program visited the university on Tuesday in Trask Hall. The event was to inform students about the importance of saving money and energy and automatic payments and what to do when a hazard happens inside of your home. There were pamphlets handed out detailing each student further information on each segment and even what to do when a gas leak occurs.
Unit said some things that I didn't know that were kind of new, like now in the age of lithium batteries, you're not supposed to charge your phone on soft surfaces, and just a lot of stuff that you just don't know.
City Utilities hopes to help inform students about what to expect when going in a new house and what to do when they spot a hazard. They have appeared on campus last week as they were teaching about fire safety, so they might be back later on throughout the semester to help prepare more students for their future. Evangel University Theater is performing Children of Eden this weekend, and Summer Radishat has the full story.
Evangel University's theater department has been working for months on their upcoming musical Children of Eden. The musical was written by Stephen Schwartz, who also composed Wicked. The story, which is loosely based off of the book of Genesis, covers the stories of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and Noah and the flood, with a father figure in both acts in the place of God. Ben Paris, who plays Noah in the musical, tells us a little bit more about how they went about the betrayal of the father figure and the loose retelling of Bible stories.
Right away, our directors, who are lovely, they tell us, look, do not take these words to heart. This is not a biblical story. This is just a story that is told, but we are presenting it as a musical. The wording is really good. The person who wrote it, Stephen Schwartz, he's very good at wording it and not making it too hard for James, because he's been uncomfortable at times, but we work our way around it, and he's super good at what he does, and our directors lead us in the right path when he goes to that.
Along with the Evangel students putting in countless hours, the theater department has also brought in new lighting and microphones and will have a live orchestra at the showings. Along with this, they're bringing in a children's ensemble that consists of children from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade to be a part of the show.
The show will premiere here at the Barnett Theater on March 30th at 7:30 p.m. They will also have showings April 1st and 2nd, take a weekend off for Easter, with their final showings being April 14th through the 16th. Tickets are $22 for adults, $15 for senior citizens and students, and $10 for Evangel students. For Newswatch Today, I'm Summer Ottershot.
This last Tuesday, Activities Board hosted an event called Mr. EU. And here's reporter Hannah King with the story.
Mr. EU is an annual event held by the Activities Board every year. Men from all over campus come together to compete for the one and only position as Mr. EU. Students compete for this position through a talent portion, following a question panel, and finally an obstacle course for a final competition. Let's hear from Gavin Blaine, Mr. EU 2023.
I am so excited that I get to like wear this crowd. It's crazy that I got voted for. And so again, I'm humbled. Honestly, I didn't think I was that good, and I don't know how to feel. That's my reaction.
While there are judges to choose contestants in the beginning, ultimately the student body decides who the winner is for the night. Let's hear from Nick Arnberger about his thoughts on Mr. EU.
My thoughts on Gavin Blaine, well deserved. Who else would be our Mr. EU for this year? This man has single-handedly come out of his shell. We saw him at the other AB events. We saw him at the fall one where he was going crazy on stage. He had the crowd dying of laughter, and of course that didn't change for this year. Of course when he was up there, he was singing his song, and who knew what pitches he was singing, but I'll tell you what, the crowd was screaming the whole time. Couldn't have been anyone else but Gavin. He well deserved. What a great win. And even in the end, he was shooting the shots. He almost had the cup off the table. He wasn't quite there, but he's still our man.
If you would like to get involved with an event just like this one, Spring Fling Act auditions are coming up from April 4th from 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Activities Board hosts many different events just like this one throughout the semester. Spring Fling is just around the corner, happening on April 15th. If you would like to purchase tickets, you can go to the Connect app and click Spring Fling Purchase Tickets. I'm Hannah King, reporting live for Newswatch.
The Evangel variety show Spring Fling is underway, and it's taking Evangel students back to their childhood. Spring Fling is an entertaining variety show that includes a multitude of elements created to make people laugh, and live musical performance and other acts by the student body are also a major aspect of the show, and auditions are scheduled for next week. So if you sing, dance, or have a video that you've been workshopping, then you are encouraged to audition. Auditions will be held on Tuesday, April 4th from 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., and students can RSVP, select a time slot, and fill out an application, all on the Connect app's event.
Up next, we'll be talking with Dr. Deborah Johnson about Evangel Psi Chi Club.
This and more when we get back after this break.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? this isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
We do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Dungeons & Dragons, a tabletop role-playing game, has been rising in popularity exponentially since 2020, and Hollywood has honored loyal fans with a modern take on the game in the form of a movie, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. In this action and comedic adventure movie, Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez gather a party of adventurers to undo a past roguish mistake. Any particularly devoted fans might notice that the movie is based on a small portion of the lore of the nearly 50-year-old role-playing game. This movie begins playing in theaters today, March 30th. Summer Radished is standing by with a special guest. Summer?
Thanks, Wyatt. With me today is Dr. Deborah Johnson, psychology professor and Psi-Chi faculty sponsor. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, it's a delight to be here. Thank you, Summer.
Of course. So we heard that the psychology department has a new weekly breakfast and coffee event that's sort of similar to the Wake Up Wednesdays, but can you tell us more about it?
Yes, we want to invite everybody to Mental Health Mondays. And we know that mental health issues are real.
Yes.
The struggle's real. The struggle's here with us. So in this, of course, come by, get your beverage of choice, hot beverages, cold beverages, but also pick up some information about varying kind of mental health issues. Throughout the month of April, we'll highlight biological things, psychological, social, and spiritual.
That's so awesome. So this is relatively very new. Have you had your first meeting yet?
We've had our first forum where
sure.
we've highlighted, again, what it means to be healthy in a holistic way. Again, biopsychosocial, spiritual.
Yes.
We will have our next upcoming forum on the Mental Health Monday on April 27th, so that last Monday of the month, where we're highlighting boundaries. How do we have boundaries in our relationships, for our own emotions, for our technology? So we invite everybody. We say, Summer, that everybody is welcome. If you are a psychology major, you have had a psychology class, or you know anybody that ever has, you're all welcome.
So what exactly is Psi-Chi? Because I'm not a psychology major. And you just said that people outside of the psychology department can be in it, but is it like a psychology honors club, or is it a little bit more like AB where you can just join, but there's a little bit of like more of a commitment there than just any regular thing?
Right, that Psi-Chi itself is an international honor society for undergrad, graduate students, and professionals. However, Evangel Psi-Chi is a combination of both Psi-Chi, that honor society, and the club, the psychology club, which is open to everybody. So we invite everybody to our events, to the forum, and Therapy Dog Day, which we sponsor every year. I think that's a favorite for students, the last Friday of classes, right at noon.
I love Therapy Dog Day, but usually I'm so exhausted from my classes that I'm like, if I pet a dog, I might cry because they're gonna make me so happy.
You know, we see a lot of tears and a lot of laughter, both of those, yes.
I love it. So you said there's Therapy Dog Day, there's the Mental Health Mondays. Does Psi-Chi host other events regularly besides those?
Yeah, we try to have, like on a monthly basis, something that's of a social nature, something that's both educational that will help in that. So those are our kind of events coming up. We are taking a group of students to Chicago to represent Evangel in kind of in the Midwest Psi-Chi. So we'll be joining with schools from all over, again, the Midwest and Chicago. So looking forward to that. That also is coming up. So if anybody yet wants to head to Chicago, look me up.
It sounds like fun. So you said you're representing like the Midwest when you guys are in Chicago.
Right.
What exactly is all happening there, though, in case somebody does want to go?
They're highlighting research that's happening at schools across the Midwest. So we'll be looking and discussing different research that will be being published in the varying psychology, social journals and all. So
Okay.
things in regards still with COVID, things in
Sure.
regards with the uprise of, depression pandemic, of suicide. We'll be looking at helps. And of course, as Evangel, we get to kind of bring in that perspective of, it matters looking from a holistic perspective and from the spiritual perspective as too. So looking forward to that.
That is very exciting. So part of your title is faculty sponsor of Sci-Chi. What is your role then? As what do you exactly do? How do you assist the club? Where do you let them take the reins? How do you fit into that?
Okay, I'm the faculty sponsor.
Yeah.
So in that, it's I'm present in some of the, most
Sure.
of the meetings and in the planning, kind of do some of the background stuff, help to spread the way there, and I'm the coach. It's okay, come on. But again, the officers are students, and
Sure.
they are selected by their classmates and their faculty, and so they basically take the lead on things, and they do a great job. Our current leaders, Evan Washburn, Maddie Simmons, Gabby Zarillo, and
Okay,
Emmy
yes.
Stinson, who's very busy this week in the play, so yes.
That's very exciting. Where can students who aren't a part of Sci-Chi, but where can they learn more about Sci-Chi events? Where can they hear about it? Where will they see it?
Okay, 3 places. You can watch what's happening on EU Connect. You can pay attention, of course, to all of those posters that are being around, particularly as you get into the 3rd floor of Trask, where our office suite is.
Sure.
And then just be listening, because students will be spreading the word, because we want everybody to participate.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Summer.
Let's go back to the desk with Wyatt and Cameron.
Thanks, Summer. So, Cameron, what can we expect from weather this week after the nice little string of good weather that we've had?
Well, I think we can expect those warmer weathers to stick around for another week, which I'm excited about. But I think it's also going to bring some severe thunderstorms along with it. So stick around for the full forecast to find out.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
The Ozarks are known across the country for their natural beauty, but recent rainfall may be changing the view. The creeks, lakes, and streams continue to rise and fall, leaving litter and trash behind. This not only turns the landscape into an unappealing view, but it is also detrimental to the wildlife, as there have been images emerging of birds by Lake Springfield tangled in fishing lines and dying because they cannot get loose. Officials are asking people to remember to not litter, and remember it affects much more than just the pretty view. I find it so sad when I see like all this trash, and sometimes I feel like people just don't care and they just throw it out. And not only it does make things ugly, but like it hurts animals. And I feel like that should be a point where people would realize they gotta stop.
It's very unfortunate stuff, but hopefully people hearing a story about it and knowing that it's out there, we can start to come together as a community and get rid of that.
Exactly. Let's go to Cameron with the weather.
Thanks, guys. Well, currently outside, we have that cooler temperatures that I was talking about earlier with that 48 degrees, partially cloudy currently, but as we move later into today, it's only going to warm up from there. With about a 66-degree high today, we do have some light showers along with that, and we can expect that not all day, but I did bring it up to mention because it's going to be around the time that people are getting out of work, so around that 4 or 5 o'clock time when you're leaving work, headed to your car, maybe have an umbrella handy if those light showers do end up showing up around that time. And as we move forward into the almanac, we can see those temperatures that I already talked about for today, 66 with lows of 48, a record temperature at this time being around 82 degrees, which thankfully I think we can expect later into the week, along with the sunset being at 7:27. Moving along to the satellite, we can see some precipitation moving along through here. All of this through here we're going to experience later into the week, maybe a little bit tomorrow, but mostly later into the beginning of next week as well. And we could see more of that as we move along to our radar. So as we move to the radar, we can see all of this throughout here. Nothing on us yet, but all these dots that we're seeing appearing throughout here is just going to move up towards us, and we're going to start to feel that more as we move into the week. Coming back to our temperatures, we have that 66-degree weather today, but the surrounding areas being around like 68, 67, so a lot of people are feeling those exact same temperatures as we are. Another look at that forecast, we can see these rain and thunderstorms covering us through here. That's what I was saying on the radar as it's moving forward. We can start to see that forming up above us, and we'll start to feel that later into the week. We can see that with our 6-day forecast. So when we take a look at our 6-day forecast, we can start to see some warmer temperatures start to arise with 82 degrees and 80 on Monday and Tuesday, so I'm excited for that warm weather that I mentioned. However, on Tuesday, we have those scattered and severe thunderstorms, as well as Wednesday with some scattered thunderstorms as well. We do also have a little bit of thunderstorms coming up tomorrow on Friday with some warmer temperatures along with that, so all of our thunderstorms do have some 75-degree to 82-degree weather, so it will be warm but rainy. That's all I have for you guys right now. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. It's always a little disheartening when all the warm weather always brings rain.
Yes, that is true, and it's really a testament to the sporadic nature of Missouri. They say, if you don't like the weather, just wait a day. Up next, Emmeline gives us the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
On as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
There is a road laid out for me. First night here, but Amy seems cool. Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see. What do you think? I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Israel's largest trade union federation called a general strike on Monday, March 27th, to protest the government's controversial plans to overhaul the judicial system. Parts of the country have been brought to a standstill. It follows mass protests that erupted Sunday, March 26th, sparked by Prime Minister Benjamin's decision to fire his defense minister after he spoke out against the planned legislation. The country has seen months-long demonstrations over the plans, which opponents say threatens the foundation of Israeli democracy. And under proposals, the government would have control over the appointment of judges, and Parliament would gain the power to override Supreme Court decisions. Well, it's tough to see the things that are going on over in Israel, and you have to wonder, with all of the protests going on, how is the peaceful, normal civilian affected by such conflict?
Exactly. You know it's changing lives.
100%. And now with Emmeline Perkins with the latest in sports news.
Thanks, Wyatt. The Evangel men's golf team took part in the Evangel University Spring Invitational on Monday. Thomas Boyven led the Valor with the third best score on day one with 69 and finished 13 overall with a combined score of 146. Reagan Streck also had a good day with finishing 26 overall with a score of 151. Evangel's men's golf team will be participating in the Prairie Dune Invitational on Monday and Tuesday, April 3rd and 4th in Hutchinson, Kansas. The women's golf team took part in the William Wood University Spring Invitational as well on Monday. Evangel had 3 athletes finish in the top 20. Caitlin Swoop finished 8th with a score of 158. Ashley White also had a good day when she tied for 10th with a score of 160. And Susanna Blackwell finished 20th with a score of 164. The Evangel's women's golf team will participate in the Prairie Dunes Invitational on Monday and Tuesday, April 3rd and 4th. Bill Levy, a former NFL referee, died at the age of 76 this past Wednesday. Levy has refereed for 20 seasons. He was a 2-time Super Bowl official, once in 2000 as a back judge, and 2006 as the head of the officiating crew. Levy's last game was a divisional round playoff game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. He later announced his retirement in May of 2015. The Sacramento Kings made playoffs after they beat the Portland Trail Blazers. This is the first time in 16 years. The last time the Kings made it to the playoffs was back in 2005 and 2006 season, when they lost in the first round against the San Antonio Spurs. The Kings will take on the Trail Blazers once again tomorrow at 9 p.m. Back to you guys.
Up next, Pepsi has unveiled a familiar but new logo.
And Cameron joined us for our final forecast. Stay with us.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant! It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Pepsi is changing up their logo, but is it changing or are they recycling? The new nostalgic logo that they launched looks eerily just like a modern version of their logo from the 1900s. It seems that many customers were attached to the old logo, so Pepsi heard their customers' cries. And while it looks like the old logo, they did add some new elements to it.
Very interesting to see that. You know, it is the age of nostalgia, and it's curious to see Pepsi's latest go at Coca-Cola and the other soda brands in their war for drink superiority.
Exactly. You see so many companies bringing back the old nostalgia. We had McDonald's that brought back like a adult Happy Meal. You see all these styles from the 70s coming back in. So they're really bringing back history, and I'm here for it. Cameron, how's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, Summer, we can expect some cooler weather outside right now, but actually that's the coolest we're going to feel for the entire day. Around 48 degrees outside right now, but it's only going to warm up from there with highs of around 66, and we can expect a little bit of light showers throughout the day. I'll talk more about this and more when I'm back for my full forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. That's all for us today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Wyatt Long. This has been Newswatch Today. Please join us next week for more about EUTV. And for more information and the latest on Evangel News, go to euvalormedia.com.